All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for joining us today on this Saturday. We are here to talk today, really a more catered presentation about letters of recommendation and the upcoming match. Now, I think what's exciting, what we are here to talk about is, we still have AM Opportunity still has experiences available for possibly a mid-August start and a September start that would allow you to possibly earn a letter of recommendation and be able to submit that before the match deadline opens, or to apply for this upcoming match. So AM Opportunities, we arrange clinical experiences for IMGs, for medical students, for graduates just like yourself, but we also work with different healthcare schools and universities to provide these experiences. So who is AMO? Again, I do imagine many of you here are already familiar with AMO or AM Opportunities, but we create U.S. clinical experiences for medical students and graduates globally. Our service, our platform, it does enable U.S. hospitals, clinics, and universities to open their doors to the larger U.S. international communities, as well as U.S. medical students themselves. So I always like to bring up this slide right early on. As we have created these clinical experiences over the last 7 to 8 years, we have also gained a lot of different accolades and awards throughout. I like to show this slide and just give everyone a picture of the last maybe 5 or 6 years and different awards that we have picked up. One of my personal favorites was the 2021 U.S. Department of Commerce Award. That is for export services. It is an award that comes directly from the President of the United States and is given to companies who have grown over the last 4 years and provide export services. And I think it just shows the clinical education, the clinical training that we are committed to, providing IMGs all around the world, and how important it is. And to be recognized is just an amazing achievement. And that is something we continue to bring every single day. So again, we do hope that you can join us for an experience in the near future. So how does AMO help? Again, some of you may already be working with advisors or working with other AMO representatives, and you are accustomed to that first priority service that we provide. How do we help? We really want to focus on simplifying the clinical rotation experience, right? So we have that guaranteed placement through affiliations with hospitals and different programs on our platform. We are able to offer guaranteed seating. You search, you apply, and then you can book an on-demand clinical rotation through AMO. We also provide that one-to-one world-class support. So you work with an AMO advisor to find that experience that you need. We are here to speak with you, to give you recommendations, and to help learn more about your clinical education goals so that we can then match you or recommend an experience that is best for you. And it doesn't just stop when you reserve the experience, right? After you reserve your program, you will also be provided an AMO visitor experience coach who offers assistance with collecting your documents, getting those processed for enrollment. If you're coming in person to the United States and you need housing near the clinical sites, they are also going to help with that. If you also need help applying for a visa, we do provide visa support. The coach can help get an invitation letter. So those are kind of the areas the coach will help. Again, after you reserve, our goal is making sure you can attend that experience, that you get the experience that you reserved, and you have an AMO representative with you the entire time, and that is the role of the coach, and they really are there for you. And finally, of course, stand out in the match. I think that's kind of where why everyone is here today, right? Our clinical rotations help you earn a merit-based letter of recommendation directly from that preceptor. These LORs have helped previous AMO visitors stand out on their match applications, and we have hundreds of success stories, trainees who have matched into residency programs over the year. One exciting, I think, aspect of the match and earning letters of recommendation now is that you can earn valuable letters of recommendation in virtual rotations. So maybe not even needing to come in person, but still getting experience virtually and being able to earn a letter of recommendation and then use that and successfully get matched. So we'll talk more about the types of rotations in a moment here. So I did briefly mention that world-class support that we provide. Our AMO Advisor team. I am an AMO advisor. I oversee the AMO Advisor team. Again, I've been here for over 8 years, for thousands of medical students, medical graduates. obtain the clinical experience they need. And I've seen our team expand as well. We also have my colleague Antoine, who is a lead advisor of our AMO Advisor team here today to help with questions. And then on the screen in front of you, you'll see a few other team members. These are advisors, and they are here again to help make program recommendations, to discuss your educational goals, really to address any questions and concerns that you have. We know this process can be tedious. We know a lot goes into getting clinical experience. And then once you get the experience, you still need to collect everything and attend that rotation, right? So advisors want to help before you maybe even reserve. And if you could have any questions, how you can prepare documents in advance. So we're here to help with that. And of course, we're here to assist with those reservations. We don't want reserving experience to be hard. We want it to be easy. We understand that we have 250 different clinical experiences to offer, and we want to make sure that you have access to those. And if you need a specific recommendation, we want to provide easy access and give you recommendations as well. So how do you contact the AMO advisors? Well, again, just like everything else, we want to make it easy. You can connect with us through email, through text. We also use WhatsApp, and we do have a general email address you can email as well. Antoine was able to provide that in the chat. You can schedule a call with us, so that will allow you to talk one-on-one with your AMO advisor. And there's a link that Antoine also posted that allows you to schedule a call in advance. And it's really cool. It reads, our internal calendars and is able to schedule a time that we're available and that works for you. So definitely recommend speaking with an advisor if you have not already. So our visitor experience team. Again, I mentioned that after you reserve, you are matched with the visitor experience coach, and your coach is really your personal one-on-one success coach. And that's what you can think of them as. They are going to provide you that enrollment assistance. You're going to verify those required documents. They're going to work with our program coordinators who work with the clinical sites to make sure everything gets processed in a timely manner so that when your starting day comes, you know where to report, you have all the information you need to be set for success for your rotation. Again, if you are coming in person, they do make accommodation recommendations. So we have, partnerships with some homestays here in the US. We also will send catered Airbnb links near the clinical site so that you can look at different housing. We won't book the housing for you. You will have to do that on your own if you come in person. But again, we help with those resources. So definitely use your coach as a resource as well. And what I also love, and I think it's a great way for you to meet other trainees who are rotating, with AMO, they host a virtual orientation before the program starts. So that's a nice way, again, to make sure, you have everything completed, make sure that you have all the information. But again, you can also meet other AMO trainees who are rotating. So the benefits of away clinical experiences. Again, I do imagine many of you here are familiar with all the different benefits of doing an away clinical experience. I think we've already talked about quite a few, and I know for sure we're all interested in that letter of recommendation, which is one of the biggest benefits you can get of a clinical experience. But what else do you get along the way? Well, you can build your CV, your resume. You're going to build that with valuable healthcare experience. You're going to practice your medical English. You're going to learn new terminology, and you may interact with new technology. You're going to earn letters of recommendation. We'll expand on that in a moment. But also, you're going to expand your own personal network of doctors, medical students, graduates, and you're going to form long-lasting, connections. Many of the preceptors that we work with, they become mentors to the trainees who rotate with them. The preceptors that host, they understand the importance of IMGs in the U.S. healthcare system, the shortage of doctors, and they want to provide this learning experience. They want to provide you, the tools that you need to be matched in the U.S. So they do become mentors, right? And they want to help your medical journey just as much as we do. Also, you're going to gain, clinical knowledge that's useful for the USMLE, particularly the Step 2 CK. But you can also do a away rotation, while you're preparing for Step 1. As you are looking to pass that exam, clinical experiences are a great way to get real life exposure and a great way to study as well. So definitely something to speak with an advisor about, if you're interested. When is the best time for me to do it? We're more than happy to help. And lastly, we do help, students specifically obtain credit for select experiences, whether they're cores, whether they're elective rotations. So if you're a medical student, you're hoping to earn credit, for a rotation, maybe next semester or next year, speak with an advisor. We can talk to you about that process and make sure you can reserve an experience that would meet whatever requirements your school has. So again, just to sum it up, the LOR, we also offer a letter of completion that will show that you did attend an experience, and that overall experience, they're going to help enhance your CV, and they're going to help you secure a position upon graduation, or even if you are graduated, they're going to help you get you the experience you need to get that letter of recommendation to apply for the match. So what is a clinical experience? I think this is, clinical experiences can take on all different types of terminology, elective, cores, internship, externship, hands-on, observership, but all of those are clinical experiences, right? You're getting US clinical experience in all of those different types. Now, the different terminologies that are used many times are sometimes the same. They just use differently, whether you're a student, whether you're a graduate. Also, what you're eligible for. Do you have a visa? Do you need to apply for a visa? So again, those terms, can be used sometimes interchangeably. But what I think is important here is to know that at AMO, we offer two types of clinical experience. We have in-person clinical experiences and virtual clinical experiences. The in-person clinical experiences are the hands-on and observership programs that you see. So this slide in front of you does talk about the in-person clinical experiences. So these provide you on-the-job training where you rotate with a healthcare professional in a clinical setting. Now, hands-on and observerships many times are almost the same type of experience. I think there's a misconception that, in observerships, you aren't doing anything. You're just kind of a fly on the wall. You're not interacting with the doctor. You're not talking to the staff, but that is not correct. Observerships do entail, seeing those procedures, participating in active case presentations, practicing differential diagnosis with the doctor. You are actively involved. But again, many times, depending on your medical status, your education status, your visa status, you might only be eligible for one or the other. So for example, like if you're an earlier medical student, you may not be eligible for a hands-on experience because you haven't yet done your clinical rotations during your school years yet. So an observership would be best for you. So again, many times there is this misconception that observerships aren't valuable, but again, that is not true. They are just as valuable as hands-on. And most importantly, you can earn that same letter of recommendation. Now, the hands-on programs, they will involve non-invasive patient interaction. So you may, you might do like the vitals, maybe you will talk with the patient, but again, it's non-invasive. So it's anything that can't be considered, the practice of medicine. And again, that could vary specialty to specialty. So speak with an AMO advisor about what is best for you, what you're eligible for. We're going to make sure you can get what you need. Now, we also have virtual clinical experiences. So virtual clinical experiences, again, just another type of clinical experience, but they also allow you to earn that same letter of recommendation. They are just as valuable. It's just another way to get US healthcare exposure. So these do allow you to participate in a rotation anywhere with strong internet connection without having to travel. These LORs, again, they carry the same weight as an in-person experience. Also a nice way to save on money and time. You don't have to travel. So these experiences you can usually arrange in maybe a month, less than a month sometimes. So speak with an advisor if that's something you're interested in. And you're going to also save because you don't have to pay for travel. You don't have to pay for immunizations and kind of the housing that comes with that. No need to secure a visa. We are fully aware of how hard it is to get a visa right now and the backlog with the embassies and interview dates. So virtual rotations is a great way to get experience now, get that letter of recommendation, and then you can always do an in-person experience later when it's more likely you're able to get approved or get an interview date. So I always love to pull up this slide as well. We have Dr. Samuel Lin here on this slide who talks about the importance of virtual experiences, but telehealth and virtual rotations are established now. They're here to stay. Dr. Lin hosts a great plastic surgery research virtual experience for us. He is the director, program director at Harvard Plastic Surgery Residency. So, I know his words sometimes hold a lot more weight. But yes, he understands, healthcare is moving more and more to telemedicine, and doing a virtual experience is that important, especially as you prepare for U.S. residency. So I think this kind of gets us to one of the biggest points of the presentation, the webinar, and we'll slowly transition away from this more formal presentation shortly to questions and answers. But we're focused here today on making sure you can get letters of recommendation, for the upcoming match. And it's a tight timeline, that is for sure, but it is still possible. We have select experiences available. Speak with an AMO advisor, speak with Antoine, myself today. We are able to get rotation started as early as next month, some in September, and that's going to give you an opportunity to earn a letter of recommendation. And why do I mention that on this slide? Well, looking back at past trainees, those letters of recommendation that have been earned from U.S. physicians, or U.S., I should say, students doing an AMO clinical experience have led to successful matches. So in a most recent poll of trainees who have done an AMO rotation and the respondents that we heard back from, the match rate is about 81%. And that's phenomenal. I think the standard match rate, and I'm looking it up here, the U.S. citizen IMGs is about 62%, non-U.S. citizens is about 59%, 58%. AMO is over 80%. So it just shows how important these clinical experiences are, whether or not they're inpatient or outpatient, whether or not they're hands-on or observership, in person or virtual. What's important is getting that letter of recommendation and, being able to use that when you apply and earning more letters of recommendation, submitting those, having success with your rotations. That's what's important. The work that we do here at AMO is making sure you get access to these rotations, you can earn letters and that you match. And it's, data like this that we love to point back to and say, it is valuable, and, the doctors are making, great leeway in helping medical IMGs get matched into residency. So letters of recommendation. So again, all of the experiences allow you to earn a merit-based letter of recommendation. What does that mean? It means the letter has to be earned throughout the experience, right? As long as you are, you're showing up, you're fully participative, you're nice to the staff, you're nice to the doctor, you speak about what your goals are, what you're hoping to learn, and you're communicative, you're non-disruptive, you're gonna have an amazing ability to earn a letter of recommendation, right? So, take advantage of that. I think the reason that we say that it's merit-based is because we also understand on the other side, the 0.051% that maybe have not earned it is usually due to, not attending, being on your phone all day, not being nice to the staff. So again, you have an amazing ability to earn letter of recommendation. I would say overall, the majority, if not almost every single person, does earn a letter of recommendation, but understand it has to be earned. These are merit-based, they're written directly from the preceptor, and that's what makes those letters valuable, right? You want the preceptor to speak about you, your character, your medical education goals, why you are a match for, or why the doctor recommends you for the match, right? What's not important in that letter is that you did hands-on, you did observership, or that you did it at one specific facility. Sure, that could be nice to have in the letter, depending on what you want in that letter. But I know doctors firsthand will say that's not what's important about the letter. What's important is that you were able to rotate with me. We built a relationship, and then I can write a valuable letter of recommendation about your personal experience and why, as a medical student, medical graduate, you should be matched into residency, right? Why they recommend you for the match. And that's why these letters being merit-based has a huge advantage. It's a huge benefit. These aren't template LORs. You can earn that anywhere. That's not going to help you in the match. What's going to help you is a valuable letter of recommendation that is personable. And again, every experience we offer allows you to earn a letter of recommendation. And I would say, and this is very important, talk with the doctor early on about the letter of recommendation. And that means everything from timeline to when you need it delivered or provided, how you want it delivered, especially if you're planning to, try and get a rotation the next few weeks or month. If you need that letter submitted by a certain date in September, we know the deadline, I believe, opens, the match opens on the 27th, then talk to the doctor about that. Let them know that, it's a tight timeline. You understand everyone's busy, but that you would appreciate it if they can, help you get that uploaded on time. I can't guarantee that, every single doctor will say, yes, it's going to be easy, but I will say, if you communicate that, the doctor is going to do everything in their power to help make sure that that happens. But it's just about having those expectations, setting those expectations. So just communicate early with your preceptor. If you have questions in advance, ask your coach. If you're not sure how to start the conversation with the doctor, start that conversation with your coach. Hey, I'm feeling nervous. How do I ask the doctor about a letter of recommendation? Your coach is going to help you with that. But again, it's merit-based. You have to earn the letters, and you also have to make sure that you speak with the doctor. You're clearly communicating, what your expectations are for the letter of recommendation. The doctor is going to do everything they can to help you earn that. I'm sure we'll have some questions coming up soon. Antoine, thank you for helping in the chat and the Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, please continue to send those. But I did want to just kind of stick on this slide for a moment and just talk about those letters of recommendation, because again, the point of, I think, today's webinar is to make sure everyone here understands, and everyone watching, you can still earn letters of recommendation with an AMO rotation. And it's possible that those letters that you earn, can still be submitted for the ERAS deadline, coming up soon. So I think that's exciting, and just definitely want to make sure that you can ask us any questions if that's something you're interested in. So this will take us to kind of the last slide or two of the more formal webinar, but I wanted to bring up the easily enroll for your rotation slide, because it goes over the different requirements that you may need to submit for an AMO experience. So when you, and I should say, complete your enrollment here, you'll see a few different bullet points of requirements. These are the standard AMO requirements for an in-person clinical experience. You'll see a few of the requirements have asterisks with them. Those may not be required for virtual rotations, right? And those are typically documents like immunizations, health insurance, visa, because you're not coming in person in a virtual experience. You don't need to worry about those. So just wanted to point that out. But what I also want to make clear here, and why I think this slide is important, is because if you do want to do a rotation, maybe mid-August or in September, you need to start uploading these documents now, or start preparing these documents, so that when you speak with your advisor about trying to get this last minute experience, we already have the requirements in hand, and it's not going to create a roadblock for you to start the rotation, right? The last thing we want is to try and get you something for maybe a mid-August start, and then a week before you find out you can't get the documents in on time, and now you can't do the rotation. It's not refundable, so we don't want that to happen. So I wanted to point out this slide so you know well in advance that, okay, these are the documents I need to prepare. I'm going to start doing that now. And if I have questions about them, I can ask in advance as well. So again, just wanted to point that out. Through the AMO website, on the documents tab, that is where you can upload your personal documents. And there will be fields for all of these documents to be uploaded. So again, if you're doing an in-person rotation, I would recommend starting to upload all of the documents that you see on the website, the ones that you see here. If you're looking to do a virtual experience, please make sure to upload those documents that aren't necessarily based around travel. So like your CV resume, your passport, or just an official government ID, your eligibility. So for graduates, that's diploma or degree, and for students, that would be like a dean's letter. But again, if you have questions about the documents, feel free to ask any advisor. We're here to help with that. And our last formal slide, I want to just continue to bring it to everyone's attention. We are hosting our inaugural World Medical Studies Conference this August 18th, 2022, from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's really, the focus is helping you on your journey to U.S. physicianship. We're going to have a bunch of different panelists, speakers, including Dr. Sam Lin, Dr. Andrea Bakula, who you see here in front of you. We're also going to have some exciting different panels from our advisor team, some lounges. So definitely take advantage and register for the conference if you have not already. We will follow up this presentation with an email. It will include a link to sign up for the conference. Okay, and really, I think we can kind of stop the formal presentation here. If you are planning to come in person, I will mention, and even for virtual, it really is just sometimes planning ahead. I know this applies to more in person right now for this slide, but definitely want to make sure that you are aware. It can be difficult to travel right now, so just make sure you do plan ahead. Talk with your AMO advisors about when it's likely to do a rotation, or we can help you get a virtual rotation right away. All right, so I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And I want to leave it open. I don't see any unanswered questions in the chat or in the Q&A. So I think at this time, what we can do is probably stop the recording. I'll go ahead and just say thank you, everyone who attended. Thank you, everyone who was watching this, who could not attend. If you are interested in a clinical experience in the next month or two, speak with an AMO advisor, schedule a call right away. We can make it happen, and we can still try to make sure you have the opportunity to earn a letter of recommendation for the upcoming match. That's why we're here today, to talk with everyone. So definitely take advantage and ask what you need. We're here for you, and we want to wish everyone success in their medical education and hope you can meet your goals. AMO will do everything in our power to help you do that as well. So thank you again for attending. I will stop the recording and we'll go on to some questions and answers for a moment.